Hello, and welcome to episode 15 of the Digital Quill podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. Hi, I'm me, she is she. It's nice to see you. It's nice to hear from you. It's nice that you are viewing the 15th episode of this bullshit. Yep, this bullshit. No, I'm kidding. It's not actually bullshit, but it's nice of you to be here and watching 15 of me speaking. 15 episodes of me speaking? Yeah, I probably should have added a word there. Anyway, hi. Episode 15 of the Digital Quill podcast. Wow, we're already on 15. Huh. I'm recording this one, for full disclosure, a little early than, when it's going to get posted, because this is technically Wednesday's episode, and I'm recording this on a Monday. Why? Let's talk about that. But first, energy drink, because I am still waking up. Please note that I am not sponsored, so anything you see or I talk about is purely out of my love for the object or whatever. Everything I do is all 100% on me. Because that's not scary at all whatsoever. So why are we here today? Well, other than what else we're going to talk about, I just went camping for the second time in my life, and rather than writing a post about it like I did the first time I went camping, which I will link and unpaywall for the next week whenever I remember to repaywall it, because for some magic reason I had to get over paywalling things if I ever wanted to make money off this. A living, and not be threatened with loss of pay and hours because I get headaches and different topics for different days. We'll go over that another time. Anyway, first things first, before we get into camping trip 21 days gone, the first guest episode, all of that other stuff, I have a quote that I had meant to do in the last episode where it was just myself, but I forgot because I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. But I have it. I have the quote. I remembered as soon as I hit end record, after having it in my head the entire time, I was like, I forgot to put the quote. And I was like, I'm just going to do it the next time I have an episode with just me. So we're doing that now. First things first, the quote. The way I see it is that people want to disappear sometimes. But that doesn't mean they don't want someone coming after them. It doesn't mean they don't want to be found. So now I'm going to read that again because I think I fucked up the flow on that, but whatever. The way I see it is that people want to disappear sometimes, but that doesn't mean that they don't want someone coming after them. It doesn't mean that they don't want to be found. Waylon Eugene Malloy. I'm reading James Patterson's Raised by Wolves right now, and just to recap, everything in the last, since we were here last, talking about whatever, Saturday I had my first guest episode scheduled, and you've probably already heard it, because this is, Wednesday's episode, even though it's Monday. God, that's gonna mess me up. Oh well, more time to write the book, yay! So I had my first guest episode set for Saturday, and I had been invited to go camping for the second time ever with some friends of mine. Well, some friends of a friend of mine. And of course, I having not done a lot of camping, and this is actually a trip I could have gone on, I was like, yes, of fucking course I'm gonna go. So I thought it was going to end up being in later May or just not happening at all. It ended up being this weekend, or this last weekend. And I was like, oh shit, I literally scheduled for Saturday a podcast episode. I even was trying to plan around my Mays to make sure I could still make the trip, which I, at first, it's a whole thing. But anyway, I was like, oh shit, I have that podcast episode. So I had to message my guest, and I'm like, hey, I'm going camping immediately after we hit or stop recording almost. So is there a chance we could take it back an hour or so early? Because here's the thing. this was my first guest episode, right? And I had a feeling that if I could talk to myself and also you for like an hour and a half straight, a guest episode is going to be very much the same, if not a lot longer. So I was like, oh no, I need to reschedule or push it back. So I pushed it back, and it ended up working out perfectly, except also it didn't. So here's the funny story. I have to go camping the next day. My bag's already packed because I'm only camping for a night, right? Well, cool. My bag's packed. I decide to relax with some reading before bed because, reading, trying to shut the brain off to fall asleep. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m. I have to get up. I have my alarm set, mind you, for 5 a.m. I don't usually set alarms. I usually get up on my own. 5:30, it was actually set for like 6:15, 6:20, because I didn't need that much time to get ready for the podcast. I had a lot of it set up for overnight. And midnight, 1 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't sleep. And I end up falling asleep. Somehow, by the grace of God, I end up falling asleep. I got so far in James Patterson when I was just like, I'm just going to read a couple of chapters and go to bed. And then I ended up reading like 12. I ended up reading like 12 chapters instead of 2. And I just couldn't sleep. The book was good and I got pretty far, and I like looked at it and I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost done. I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh fuck. But I ended up falling asleep. And the beautiful part is I got up an hour before my alarm. So instead of sleeping the 6 hours my body lets me sleep, because I can't usually sleep past 7, not without being really fucking tired or like having issues. But instead of the 6 hours my body lets me sleep, it wakes up an hour before my alarm, and it's like, I'm awake now. And I'm looking at the clock, and I laid down for a little bit. I was laying down for a little bit trying to fall back asleep, but then I like looked at the clock again like 20-30 minutes later, and I'm like, I can't sleep, I gotta get up. So I started setting up even more and like putting on last minute touches of things, and then I had the episode, and that was great. Oh my god, I was so nervous at first. I was a little shaky, and then as like we got into the groove of it, and like I gave our guest Scott the floor a little bit, because that's what I kind of want to do with guest episodes. I have plenty of time to talk your fucking ears off about everything under the sun and then some. This is like, with this being my platform and me having guests, like when you are here on a guest episode with me, you have the floor. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can cut me off. Like, please, by all means, like, guest episodes are technically your show. It is no longer just the Mars Wilson show. It is now the Digital Quill Family show. You are now part of the fucking family. Congratulations. Congratulations. No, I'm kidding. It's not actually that big of a thing. I should not be congratulating you. I should actually be saying I'm sorry. But yeah, so yeah, the episode went really well. And if you haven't gotten a chance to hear it yet, I will link it in the bottom. It's so weird to say that. It's so weird to say all of this. Recording early. Oh my god. What have I done? Well, I wanted to do this because by the time I record on Wednesday, I won't be as excited about the camping trip. Although I might be. I don't want to run the risk of me not being excited about the camping trip I just took. And oh man, this is hilarious. Okay, so we get back into town last night. I open up my laptop, I go on Facebook, because I don't keep Facebook app on my phone, and fucking Facebook Memories comes up. I'll get back to the guest episode in a minute, but fucking Facebook Memories comes up. And it's me in the woods, and it was my first camping trip. So somehow, I don't know how the fuck it was planned this way. I have no idea what luck is needed for this, but I went camping, my second camping trip, exactly fucking, what was it, 2 years? Hold on, let me see something. Yeah, let me pull this up. for me. How long ago was it? Sorry, I am on Facebook in a different browser. It's gonna take a minute. I don't know how to get to my profile. Oh my god, I am digitally inept, apparently. Okay, there it is. The memory from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, yesterday, or this weekend, I went camping. Wow. That must have been 2022 then. No? Yes, it was. Wow, that was a fun year. All of the last 2 years have been fun. This year's been arguably my best year yet, out of like all of my 20s. I've had 6 of them. I'm gonna unpack that for myself later. But yeah, 3 years ago this weekend, I went on my 3 years ago. Damn, that kind of hurts me. Ow. 3 years ago. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I went on my first camping trip one time, and somehow by luck, I ended up going camping again 3 years later on the exact same fucking weekend. When I saw that Facebook memory, I immediately shared that shit. I was freaking out. I was like, are you kidding me? How? Like, I thought it was March that we went. I thought it was fucking March, because it was so cold then. It's getting warmer. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, like, the fucking camping trip was awesome, because, like, the first time it was just me and one other person, and it was actually, like, it was fun. I remember it. I remember writing about it. It was a really good time, like, for my first trip ever, even though it was cold and we ended up sleeping in the truck. It was good. It was a good time. I feel like the second trip was arguably more fun. Not because, like, it's been so long and, you know, it's my second trip of camping, but, like, the first time it was just me and one other person. This time it was me, one other person, and then there were a lot of moving bodies, so I'm trying to count how many of you were at the fire. More than 3, less than 8. It was more than 3, less than 8. That's all I know. Could have been 8, actually. Hold on. Let's see. Somewhere in the realm of 5, maybe. I want to say 5. It was a group, for sure. And as much as I am not a fan of drinking and stuff, because people do and say some wild fucking shit when they drink sometimes. Jesus Christ. I also say wild shit just being sober, so it's like, I don't know. But it's like the smell of beer is mainly what bothers me, because it flips my stomach anytime I smell it on people's breath, or like just in general. And like when people get too warm and they start sweating, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know how you guys can. More power to you. I'll be in the woods. you guys enjoy the warm fire. I'll go be cold. Man. I would like to go with a bunch of stoners who don't drink one day. That'd be interesting. Like, let's all just get high on mushrooms and weed in the woods. Let's do that. Let's plan that. Let's make that a Digital Quill family trip. Okay, so a little bit more about the guest episode. I'm excited for my first guest episode. I was nervous at first. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen, but like, yeah, like it was fun. I'm really glad that it went over 2 hours. That's kind of why I wanted to push it back for the camping trip, because I was like, I know this is going to go over. I know this is going to go like into like to the 1 hour and a half or an hour and a half to 2 hours and a half like territory. And I was like, it's giving I should push it back. I'm glad I did, because I don't think we would have gotten to cover everything that we did. It was definitely definitely an interesting episode for me as a first guest episode, but then again, as someone who's never done any of this before, it would be interesting. I'm just excited. I'm sorry. Like, I may be dealing with a lot mentally and emotionally and other stuff, and I may not be exactly where I want to be right now, but I'm where I need to be, I think. Like, I thought I was going to write 21 Days Gone. Well, not 21 Days Gone itself, but I thought I was going to have a book published by the time I was 22 or 24. Part of me knew damn well that that wasn't going to happen, but a part of me was also like, could it? Maybe? Just a little bit? Just a little teeny tiny bit? But as someone close to me once said many times, life happens as you're making plans to live it. And it definitely does. Little bit of a side personal story. I wanted to be married by the time I was 26 because I didn't think I was going to make it past 25, and I wanted if the off chance I somehow managed to make it past 25 happened, I wanted to have, a spouse that I wanted to have children with and be married by the time I was 26, because by the time, I wanted to have, the long engagement and then, a cabin in the woods or, a piece of property of some sort. I had a lot of plans, and a lot of those haven't happened in quite the exact same ways, but at the same time, a lot of the things I'm currently doing are preparing for the more long-term goals of my life, I guess. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It does. But, who knows? I mean, maybe I will just end up being the cool aunt to all of my friends' kids and stuff. That's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I don't mind being the cool aunt. I decided the other day that instead of being the godparent, as cool as, as much as I like the honor of that and stuff, I'd rather be the cool aunt, because until I am married and or have kids of my own, I don't feel comfortable being a godparent. Just simple, or at least until I'm in a long-term healthy partnership. It doesn't necessarily need to be a marriage based on the government. We could literally have the whole ceremony and just not and sign our own marriage certificate that we print out. We don't need to go the whole legal route, but if we do have kids, I'm going to request that simply for taxes, because it's better for everyone involved. For some fucking reason. Because property and business. Marriage is basically a business, technically, in the form of the government. But we'll go there in another time. But now that I'm not sidestepping anymore, back to the camping trip and the guest episode and stuff, which is mainly what episode 15 is all about. So, I keep scratching my ears and shit, because the very first thing I noticed, even though I was only in the woods for less than 24 hours, everything is so loud. Everything. We got back, we walked through the door, and I started listening to everything, and a part of it was maybe the wind, because it was really windy last night. Part of us were thinking it was the wind pushing the traffic noise toward us, and I don't think it was, because it just felt louder than it normally does. Really loud, almost deafening loud. I talked about this in my podcast episode, which is kind of why I'm recording this now. I talked about this on a TikTok video, which is why I'm talking about this now, because as I was recording the TikTok and dishing about the camping trip, I was I should write or talk about it while it's still fresh. So, okay. Wake up after having low sleep on Saturday morning, record the episode, end up finishing recording. It was a great episode. There were a few things that I, like, unless you, like, go see it, I don't want to, like, tell you what was talked about in the episode, because then maybe you won't see it. And that would make me sad, because the first guest episode is the first guest episode, and I guess it might set the tone for how I interact with humans. Maybe. And maybe I'll get better at it. I don't know. But yes, recorded the first guest episode, and then when we were done, we talked a little bit after it. I think I'm going to start setting up a thing where any guest episodes I have, I send that file, their file, to them so that they can use it if they want, because why not? I don't know. It was going to take 2 hours to upload the video to Dropbox. Or not the video, but the episode to Dropbox, and I did not have time for that, so I'm gonna need to re-upload it this week sometime. We get to the woods, and it's probably like 2-3 o'clock. And the very first thing I do after we, like, set up our camp, and camping in Arizona is great because we don't have a lot of bugs. You don't really need a tent here, which I honestly kind of like, because the idea of sleeping inside of a tent bugs the shit out of me, but at the same time, if it's a necessity in, like, Colorado, I'll do it. But I'm definitely going to prefer, like, cot under the stars. Eventually I want to learn how to, like, do some minor bushmastering work, but not, like, professionally or, like, as a lifestyle, but, you know, some tips and guides, I guess. We get there, and I look around, and one of the things I want to do is trapeze off into the wilderness on my own. And mind you, I've not done a lot of camping in the woods, but it's not like I've never been to fucking nature, okay? When I was a baby, up until probably around the time my dad passed away, for 11, 12 years, almost every week, my mom and I would go up north. Payson, Show Low, Williamsburg, or Williams, I always call it Williamsburg, Winslow, I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but we'll go there one day. Mayor. I've been to a lot of, like, we used to go up north a lot, like, all the time. Like, sometimes we'd spend the weekend up there in a cabin, or just day trip it and back down. Sometimes really late at night. I practically kind of lived, like, not lived, but I spent a lot of time in the woods. Those trees and I are pretty good friends. I prefer being in those trees and in nature than I do down here, where it's so loud and smelly. It's so smelly. Here. I don't usually like doing this, and it's at 10%, but we're gonna do this anyway. This is my Instagram, my Twittergram, or not my Twittergram, my Twitter X. My fucking Twitter X. And the post I'm going to read to you is this one. All right. I already miss camping, lol. The city smells. There are way too many people so close together. Even though I was squinting, I'm 99.9% certain my apartment lights are brighter, and I understand now why I use the natural lighting with the windows as often as possible. It smells like, oh my god. So goddamn noisy. Like, everything makes noise. Everything. Weather? There's hardly any weather in the city because it's so fucking hot here because of all the fucking traffic and buildings and concrete and bullshit and asphalt, that all of the valley storms just go around us. All the clouds will raise up into the atmosphere and then move along and then raise back down and hit the fucking outskirts. So there is no weather here, and if it is, it's very spotty and smelly. That's not in this. Weather, again, did I mention it smells? I have faux peace in the city. I have real peace in those damn trees. I have faux peace in the city. I can mimic peace. I can mimic what it feels like to be peaceful through meditation and music and reading and stuff. But something that I noticed, I have ADHD, right? I have autism. I'm fucked up in the head, okay? You know, like, whatever. Woohoo. Yay. But, like, and I hardly sit still. Like, I move my hands. I talk with my hands. I'm always moving around. It's hard for me to, like, do that shit. Like, sit still and, like, keep my mind focused on certain tasks unless I'm smoking weed or, like, other shit. And, I'm definitely built for, like, small towns or the middle of fucking nowhere. Bumfuck Egypt. Because I was able to sit so still for so long. It felt so simple to just exist and be. I kept thinking about it. I kept drawing my attention back to it and, like, to my attention to, like, how I feel in the city. And the best way I can explain this now is this. I don't think I'm made for the city. I don't think I can find peace here in the city unless it's fake. Unless it's probably real. It resembles real peace, but it's not. The first thing I do when I get there to the camping site is I look around, I hang out, I smoke some stuff, you know, hang out, whatever, smoke some weed with some people, and I decide to go exploring because I saw some, you know, unique trees and other things like that, and I look around and I ask a couple of people, I'm like, it's only a few hours until sunset, right? Like, sunset's around 6 or 7. So I decided to go on an adventure because I knew we'd be leaving the next day. And I did that. And a part of me has always wanted to get lost in the woods, like, actually lost, to see if I can, like, test myself. Like, a part of me has, like, considered, like, setting something up with friends, being like, hey, I'm gonna go fuck around and find out in the middle of nowhere. Here's my coordinates. Here's how long I should be out. If I am not at this spot at this date, send help. I probably got eaten by a bear. Because I study a lot of, like, fire starting techniques and other things, and I just want to test my will to survive in a place that isn't trauma. Okay? I want to test my natural instincts to survive in the natural wilderness instead of testing my instincts to survive social situations. Instead of testing my instincts to survive high school or college or anything in the normal modern bullshit called life and society. This is bullshit. You mean to tell me nature looks like that and all of us have to go to a 9 to 5? We have to pay taxes for what? I was looking for bones and I found a tuft of deer hair in a tree. Yes, I brought it home. When I was out there in the middle of the woods, and I was thinking about how I'm feeling, like, physically, emotionally, mentally, and everything, I didn't feel like every nerve in my body was on fire. I didn't feel like I had to keep watching over my shoulder to make sure my biological sperm bank or anyone else was watching or following. Even when I got lost minimally for like 15-20 minutes, I wasn't that afraid. I mean, I was a little bit, but I wasn't that afraid. I felt peace. I felt calm. I felt like a weird sense of trusting myself. Here in the city, I'm so fucking scatterbrained all the time. Like, I feel like all of my skin cells, all of my essence is pulled in every single fucking direction all the time. When I'm out there, I feel so whole and complete, and not like I have autism or ADHD. Not like I'm traumatized to the nines. And I think that's one of the reasons why it, like, depresses me so much that I don't get to spend more time up north and in the woods and in the trees and in nature, is because that's who I am. I can be me, even with a broken brain. When I'm here, I feel like I have to do everything. There's chores, there's looking good because we live in society, so I have to shower, put on makeup, get dressed, look fucking clean and cut. I have to clean the bathrooms and the floors and the kitchens and dishes and laundry and taking care of pets and going to parties and socializing. And when you're out in nature and it's just you in the woods and making food and for survival purely, like, to me that just sounds better. It just does. I'm sorry. Like, I've never been a huge fan of modern living. I mean, it's here, as I said in the last episode, like with AI, like, it's here, it's not going away, so you kind of have to learn to adapt to it, and that's what I've been doing. Learning to adapt to living in society. Learning to adapt as living as a human being and not a feral woodland creature who actually feels happier there. The nature, the woods, so much better. And I have a feeling, and if I know myself well enough, and I think I do, I was not that upset getting lost. Not like what you would expect someone to be. At one point, while I was, like, using my whistle and shouting just to see if I could get, like, the campers I was with or, like, another camp nearby to, like, say something so I could follow the voices, I was cussing myself out for not being better prepared. I was like, you fucking idiot, you fucking bitch. How did you get yourself lost in the woods, you fucking dumbass? Ah! In that moment of being lost and cussing myself out, I started asking myself questions. I'm like, okay, in order to not be lost, you have to stay calm. Do not freak out. Don't freak out. Don't start panicking. Don't start hyperventilating. Keep your breathing steady. Make sure that the stress and the cortisol that's about to start pumping through your body is centered and not everywhere, because if you freak out, you're not getting out. So I had to keep myself calm. I'm usually pretty calm under pressure. Usually, not always. It's not a perfect science. But while I was there in the woods and thinking about, like, how I would get rescued if I end up getting more lost and stuff, I realized that the only reason I was feeling any sense of fear of being lost was because I was with other people. My thought process was, I'm okay with this, but other people would not be. And I don't want to waste other people's time and make other people panic or worry just by having to come find my ass. A part of me should have said, if I do get lost, don't come looking for me. But I didn't, and that's one of the reasons why I had to find my way back. But yes, I got lost in the woods. I got lost in the woods one day, and I somehow made it back. I'm a little sad that I made it back, but I made it back. With some adventure tales. And it was kind of wild because I walked like almost straight from the camp, and then I veered left, and then I think I veered a little bit more straight, and then I must have not gone very far because I could still minimally hear the people at camp, but at the same time there were a lot of dead silences, and I'm like, what is happening right now? I saw an animal not far from me and a blurry shape take off, and that's when the panic started to set in just a little bit, because I was like, oh yeah, there are bigger predators than me out here. Oh yeah, I have a whistle and my phone that doesn't have service except for access to Google Maps, which is actually how I found my way back. I didn't have the coordinates, which I am stupid for not grabbing. So yeah, I actually used Google, and that's actually something that pissed me off, because I was like, when I pulled out my phone and I used Google to kind of point me back in the right direction, I was like, I'd rather be using a compass or just not have to do this at all. Why do I need to go back to camp? Those people don't know me very well. They don't care if I vanish, right? But then I told myself, I'm like, people unfortunately do care if you vanish in the woods, especially while you're camping with them, even if they just met you. So I was like, damn it, I have to go back. I will get lost again. This is going to happen. And it will be for longer. It won't be for just 15 minutes on the dot. Probably not on the dot, but it will be for longer. Have you ever been camping? And do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Tell me your camping horror stories in the comments. I beg of thee. I didn't sleep very well in the woods. I don't know if I ever actually got into a deep sleep, but there were a lot of noises, and when there's other people around, I don't tend to sleep well as it is. It's kind of always been that way. The sun's coming out, and I hit the mic with my face. Good job. I have like zero spatial awareness when it comes to this thing. Let's see. Can this camera pick up camera things from other cameras? I didn't take a lot of selfies. But I did find things to put inside a book. I don't know what they are. I found an interesting spider web. As if you're right in front of me, I'm showing you these things. Oh, hey, look. A photo before I got lost. Let's just say that I didn't take a lot of photos after that. Because holding my phone in my hands just reminded me that I could have died in the woods. And I would have upset many people for that. Ah, yes. The cots behind me. You can't see them very well. I have an idea. Oh god, no, that did not work. That also didn't work. They're on Facebook somewhere. Let's see. Oh shit. I never finished posting the TikTok video. Oops. Look, I never finished posting that. I got lost in the woods, but I'm back, and now working on the book after recording episode 14 of the Digital Quill podcast with my first guest. Camping stories, hashtag. Hashtag. Nah, I'm just gonna put that because that's funny. Actually, yes, you're watching me work. Good job. You can go away now. I'm not kidding. Why did I close out of that? Edit cover. Put on a little banner thing. This one time, I got lost in the woods. If you end up seeing this episode before this TikTok, then that's interesting. Because a lot of weird timeline shit is happening, like, right here. Not Woodos. Woods. There you go. This one time I got lost in the woods. Is that clickbait? Yes. Yes, it is. And now we wait for that to upload. Oh, wow. Oh, it's bright again. 60-something%. Cool. I really need to work on the book today. I worked on it yesterday and Saturday because part of me going into the woods was to work on the book because I needed to get lost and feel that feeling of being caged, or not caged, but cut off from everything. I made a lot of breakthroughs for 21 Days Gone, actually. That was kind of cool. It rained. It rained a little bit while we were up there, and I need it to rain like 75% of the time of the place that I live. So, where are you listening from? And what is the weather like? Anyway, actually, yeah, where are you listening from? If you have tuned into any of these episodes, especially this one, where are you from? Where are you listening? Are you in another state? Another country? Is the weather good there? Don't tell me, oh, the weather is shitty in the winter. I don't care. After having 20-something years of not experiencing a harsh winter, I don't care. I want to. I would like to. And you're probably like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I've heard enough stories from people that I say bring it on. Bring on being snowed in. Bring on losing power for a little bit. I will prepare somehow. I mean, you can only be prepared so much, but I will prepare. Maybe. Who knows? The idea of being trapped in my place for at least a week sounds kind of cool. Because the amount of writing I could get done being snowed in. Oh, man. I probably won't do it because I'm in the city and I feel like I can't sit still, which is terrible because bringing that up again, like, in the woods, like, I did not feel so stressed and pulled and everything. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, I started thinking about it. I'm like, I think part of the city, with there being so much noise and traffic and lights and sounds and smells, really bad, shitty, fucking horrible smells, like, I don't think ADHD or autistic or people with me problems can handle this place. Like, I don't think it's good for us. I did get sunburn a little bit, so my skin's itchy too. I don't think being in the city is good for anybody. It smells. It doesn't look good. There's smog and brake dust. The rain isn't clean. The air isn't clean. People are mean. really mean. I will get a lot done in the middle of nowhere, trapped. I just assume. I just have a feeling, because I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. I eventually I might, but until then, that's all I got. Sun's going away again. Okay. Let's see. Well, that concludes, actually. I talked about camping as much as I wanted to. I came up with the good points. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, I get it. I know. I need to go write the book and read and not doom scroll on the internet. Oh my gosh. Every single part of me is both dry and also slightly sore. My ears, my face, like dry as heck, and also sore because I think my ears just hate all the sounds in the city. My eyes are dry because allergies, and I think I dried out my eyeballs a bit by standing close. I think I dried my eyeballs a bit by standing too close to the fire. Is that how I got my sunburn? I'm gonna do a coconut oil bath very soon. I haven't done that in fucking months. So for health, if you have oil or dry skin, coconut oil baths or olive oil, but both are hydrating. And both are technically good for your skin. I also need to get all of the knots out of my hair still. I showered before bed after getting back, and I mainly just wanted to get the campfire smell out. Yeah, it's gone. Good. I don't smell like campfire. Not that I hate that smell, but I don't want to like walk into a restaurant or like work or something later and smell like campfire and then be like, where were you over the weekend? Don't worry about it. Or I don't know, does campfire smell bad? I also don't know how the camera works. It feels backwards to me. I think I've wasted enough of both of our time. I'm just waiting for this video to upload, and I will be done. 96%. Nice. So who wants to be the next guest? Yes, it's posted. Okay, cool. All right. With that being said, and I've literally run out of things to talk about when it comes to camping and the first guest episode and the book, because I have to just go do the book. Be safe, be comfy, enjoy yourselves, drink water, but most importantly, keep going. Keep going, keep learning, stay curious. This is a really interesting marble that we share together. So it is an honor to learn from all of you. It's an honor to speak to you, and I am I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see where the book goes, where the podcast goes, where my community building efforts go. Community building and community connecting. I feel like in just 12, 13 short episodes, I might have improved just a little bit. So I will see you for episode 100. we will get there. Let's see if I had to guess if I were to do. Oh yeah. There will be 3 episodes this week. The guest episode that was posted Monday, it's probably up now. This one, which is going to be posted Wednesday, and then Friday's episode, which I haven't decided what I want to talk about yet. So if you have any suggestions, by all means. I have a bit of a headache. Started getting it yesterday, and I am kind of worried about what that means for the book and me, but I'll be fine. I'll persevere. I usually do. Alright. Everybody, the Digital Quilt family, you currently listening to this, new viewers, old viewers, whatever. Thank you for tuning into the episode 15 of the Digital Quilt podcast. You are awesome. You are amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for existing. Keep going. Don't ever stop. Bye. Bye.